Hello, and welcome to episode 24 of our Hearts of Iron 3 Puppet Master series. Things finally started going really well for us against the Soviet Union. We've basically broken them and driven into the Ukraine and starting to go into a bit of, well, I actually don't know where it is, southern Belarus, northern Ukraine. And that's pretty huge. Just one episode ago, we were fighting in central Poland, basically around Brest-Litovsk and Warsaw. And now we've captured Kiev and we're driving further on onto, Rostov-na-Don. And I'm kind of keen to just see how we go, so let's get going. So as you see, I'm kind of setting objectives here. Kharkov, Kursk, there's Rostov-na-Don, which my SS troops are just moving into. Actually, we've just driven the Soviet forces out, so we'll be moving in there very quickly. And we're fighting the Liberians in Africa. I started a war with them to try and bring the UK into all my wars, but it didn't work out for me. Even my SS troops here are pushing on to Kursk, and I'm going to leave my ones in Rostov sitting for now. Just they are a bit far ahead of all my AI troops and allies, so I should wait for them to catch up. And I think Kursk is in Ukraine, so I'm still in the Ukraine. I haven't really pushed that much into Belarus, but I've retaken all of Poland and all of Romania, which is still a pretty huge thing. Sending an SS division down south to try and encircle the Crimean Peninsula, while I get the rest of them just to fan out into a bit of a defensive position around Rostov here. I don't think there's anyone in the Crimea to actually capture, but hopefully it'll just make things go a bit smoother there if there are enemy troops. And this is actually quite dangerous. There is one division coming up in support, but hopefully all my SS troops will arrive in the city and then, well, allies are moving up, so that's pretty good. We should be pretty safe. At least we're not so far away that we can't... French have mechanised troops. Actually, they've got lots of mechanised troops, so that's very useful. France is one of my more powerful allies, and they've been around for a long time. Ooh, that's a lot of... big manpower shortage. Basically, the only way I'm going to resolve my manpower shortage is by defeating the Soviet Union, I think. I'm also very short of officers, so I'll get more of them. Short of manpower, lots of spies. No, I don't actually need spies. And should I get more officers? I'm well ahead on technology. I do not need to be just researching as much as I am. So we'll just crank it right back, put our people on the front lines, and get more effective divisions. I really should have done that ages ago. I've been like 2 years ahead in technology for so long. And I probably should actually... I should get rid of some of these, but... the thing is, they're all just going to get added to it anyway. Yeah, I'll get rid of them. The thing is, there should be some like 1947 technologies in there for me to find at some point, and it helps to know when things are, or when they're done. And just checking, ooh, still a long list. Basically all of these ones. And yep, all of these ones as well, I think. The reason I'm doing this is because I know, this way I know when I've kind of caught up with a batch of technology and I don't start accidentally doing any 1948 technologies when I've got 1947 technologies like you see on the submarine screen here, ready to go. Which, if I didn't take them off, I would just do, because that's how the system automates itself. I've actually lately, not in this series, but when I'm just playing for fun, I've been started doing putting technology on AI just because it's something I waste a lot of time with if I do it properly, or I just kind of automate, just pick the technologies I want and just let them go and get really far ahead. But to do it efficiently, it actually takes a lot of time, so I've been automating it a bit. Well, they've recaptured that place. Dnepropetrovsk, which is probably not how you say it. Oh, we've captured Kursk, but we have been encircled. French are back there to support us though. So I'll just move my troops out into a defensive position. And hopefully my allies will come and rescue us. Von Manstein just has to move one province, and there's no one guarding it. Oh, well, okay, he has to move 2 provinces now. I might have to uncircle myself here. Oh, that person, the division I pushed down to the Crimea hasn't actually gone anywhere. Must have been defeated crossing the river. Oh, Green Fleet, that's good. More leadership is very good. Lots of troops hanging out in Romania. I'm not sure why, but well, I suppose it's alright. Use this French division to try and... Well, I'll just link it back up with the main front here. And hopefully it will help get my SS troops out of trouble. I think they're really in trouble. I'm pretty sure I could just drive straight back. I mean, there's only really... Oh, there's a little stack of troops in the way there, but... Sure, it won't be a big deal. As you can see, my allies are moving up. Well, my allies, the AI. I just use the term interchangeably because they're basically doing the exact same thing. And again, Soviet troops with very low manpower. I'm pretty sure that's how I've managed this breakthrough. I just wore the Soviet Union down. And they've run out of soldiers. Send that French division back to AI control. Well, it is a French division, but it's under German army control. So, it's kind of French, kind of German. Oh, we've done a big push here. Definitely into Belarus this time. And by we, it looks like it's almost entirely my allies. Minsk doesn't need to be an objective anymore. It's well behind the front lines. And my plan here is still to kind of stretch the front line longer, because as you can see there are massive gaps in the Soviet line that my troops are able to exploit. It's just looking... Smolensk? I don't want to push very far here. Bryansk would... Yeah, Bryansk is the one. It's got a bit of a pocket there with the Soviet troops in the swamp. That would create a nice straight front line like you saw me doing there with my mouse. Just order everybody to capture Bryansk. And we don't know Rostov-na-Don anymore. And the nearest objective's actually Stalingrad. Oh cool, we've relinked up with our SS troops in Kursk. So that's what they're getting supplies now, so we don't really have to worry about them. And my SS troops here are ready to go. So I'm ordering them to Stalingrad. It is the next objective. Kind of south here, or the least obvious point to go to. And again, hopefully my allies can just keep up with me. And... well, exploit my breakthroughs. And just order everybody to focus on Stalingrad. Most of those people I actually just had to order don't even have troops on this front. They're basically, well, they're recent converts to our side. So they're probably all recovering. Oh, Liberia's gotten huge. And we don't... well, we've got troops moving in to deal with them, so I suppose we will eventually. And... not a lot else happening. I really think I can't attack South Africa because the United Kingdom is neutral. Saudi Arabia, Persia, Turkey, just a few neutral states on my border. Oh, only 15% of the way towards surrendering. Well, I suppose I haven't taken that much. It just seems like a lot because, well, the Soviet Union's huge. Cool, but with broken through on the way to Stalingrad, and actually managed to encircle a lot of troops here if my allies can encircle them for me. Because we're pushing on to Stalingrad. I think I'm just going to leave these guys hanging out around here for now. Allies aren't really in a position to really hold that city without my SS troops there. I'm also struggling to get supplies up to the front, it looks like. Just through that narrow little gap. That's okay. Oh, now guys are more than halfway to Stalingrad. So that's pretty good. And of course that's a major victory point, and there's a good chance we will be able to... Well, we will actually move the Soviet Union significantly closer to surrendering. And my troops are also moving on to Leningrad. It's actually not very far at all. Well, even Moscow is quite close. But Leningrad, very close. Stalingrad, even closer. The Soviets have a few troops around Stalingrad, but I don't think they'll provide... Oh, we've been cut off already. Looks like my allies couldn't finish their encirclement. But I'm going to keep pushing forward. There's a decent stack of German troops moving up there. And more to the south, just coming out of the Crimea. And the Soviet Union is a great patriotic war. Okay, I forgot about that. That's actually really bad. Mainly, well, I think I've managed to break through here because I've basically defeated the Soviets, broken the Soviets' manpower. But the Great Patriotic War, I believe, just gives them like 2,000 manpower or something ridiculous like that. Which is very bad, because that's going to enable them to replenish their divisions a lot. Okay, so capturing Stalingrad. Well, we had to do it. I mean, we have to do it to win, so eventually they were going to do the Great Patriotic War. It's just, yeah. Anyway, we'll move our troops into defensive positions around Stalingrad. It's actually... No, my allies getting there. You're all still fighting around Rostov-on-Don, and the Soviets have actually recaptured that city. But hopefully they'll be able to move up quickly and support us into Stalingrad. And there we go, managed a major encirclement in the marshes there. And it looks like Kursk is pretty well secured. So, what should I do with this SS Corps now? Just go for a sneaky little encirclement here around Kharkov. And yet, decent push of troops through Rostov-on-Don, but the Soviets have, of course, captured it. But I'm not actually seriously concerned about that. It's more holding the line to Stalingrad that's actually important here. And the Soviets, well, they have cut us off again. But they do actually have a lot of troops moving into this area. And my allies are maybe a quarter of the way. No, that's actually generous, probably an eighth of the way to Stalingrad. So my SS are going to have to hold out for a long time here. Well, actually it's a couple, well, 4 provinces back to my allied troops. So yeah, we're actually well and truly encircled at the moment. Come on guys, keep pushing. And we've done our little encirclement around Kharkov. So Stalingrad's the only real concern here. I'm thinking I'm going to have to pull my troops back out. HQ division's retreating here. I'm going to pull these back to support the HQ. basically Stalingrad, well, we've captured it, but it is effectively a little bit too far away out of our reach here. And my allies just didn't push up fast enough. It was probably just, for the motherland, stiffen the Soviet resolve enough to slow my troops down. So they only moved forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4 provinces, while I charged forward about 20. So we're going to have to get back. Well, I've still got some SS divisions back here, but they're very, very poor shape. So we have to pull them right back out of harm's way. And these guys will be having supply problems soon, but as long as I keep them moving, they shouldn't be in too much difficulty. It's only if they get bogged down and they can't basically capture Soviet supplies that they're going to get in trouble. So basically I'm going to try and break out here. I'm going to try and do so through the south, just because that's where fewer Soviet troops are. And also get to smash a Guards division on the way, which is always helpful. Yeah, okay, that division hadn't recovered its manpower. Well, it does take time and industrial capacity to recover manpower. But, yeah. For the next little while, things aren't going to be great for me, especially since I've got my own manpower problems and the Soviet Union's basically just had theirs resolved for them, thanks to me capturing Stalingrad. The stupid thing is, I went to capture Stalingrad, triggered that event, and I can't even hold Stalingrad. Should have just done a smaller push-up. Well, I don't actually know. I probably should have sent these guys north towards Moscow or something. And there we go, there's my route south. Hopefully we can just drive our way straight out at this point. There's no Soviet troops in front of us. We've just got to keep moving and we'll get back safely. Okay, Guy von Streppenberg has run out of fuel, which means no attacking for it. And unfortunately about breaking out like this is that the division in front gets the fuel, the divisions behind, they kind of get what's left over. So they're going to be struggling to keep up a bit. Especially von Streppenberg, who's very close to the enemy as well, and is just under attack. So I'm actually probably going to have to send that one division back to reopen supplies. And then the other two are just going to do a fighting retreat as best they can. And the HQ division is very vulnerable here, and kind of unlikely to actually have it live, to be honest. You can see my SS troops are actually taking pretty significant manpower losses. They've been on the front lines for a long time. And my troops, well, I've got manpower problems. So it's not surprising that the SS divisions are under strength. But for all that, they're still very powerful. And they will be inflicting heavy casualties on the Soviets. And basically, I think I'm just going to have to hold the line for a while. Until the Soviets have pushed back hard and far north here. I think I've actually lost a couple of divisions, and they've actually moved into Poland again. So briefly we managed to hold all of Poland. But yeah, what was I saying? Basically I think the strategy for now is going to be basically hold the line and just try and preserve as much of my manpower as I can while killing the Soviets. And we've already learned that our Guy von Streppenberg's completely surrounded and it's under attack, so I can't really order it to move through the gap to the south. So Guy von Streppenberg's probably lost. Student's also in trouble, but has a way out, so I'll order it to retreat. I believe the headquarters division's just been overrun. But my other division's almost back. So I might manage to get one SS division out of here. So that's a pretty huge loss for me. Yeah, there's Guy von Streppenberg's division's gone. Students is still pulling back, so there's a chance we can get him out. We're about to reopen supplies, and if it can get back in supply, well, it would be able to fight and defend itself, and hopefully be able to probably be able to just run away quicker. But that's still very useful in this situation. So, capturing Stalingrad for me wasn't as disastrous as it was for the German army in real life, as instead of losing, a million soldiers, I lost, let's say, 20,000? probably even less than that. But I actually can't afford to lose 20,000 of my best troops. I've only got 70,000 STS troops, and they're kind of all necessary. These SS guys are hanging back. Probably should be ordering them to help, well, should have ordered them south to help out these guys, but I wasn't thinking that way at the time. Pulling a student back. There's a good chance he's going to make it out, actually. Just have to get von Schnell to keep the Russians off students' back. And von Schnell's division is actually in really good shape, so he should be able to. But yeah, Stalingrad, a little bit out of our reach. Well, even then, we probably could have managed that if War of the Motherland hadn't happened. I'm saying it like manpower is the main thing. It gives actually pretty huge bonuses to morale and possibly organisation and industrial capacity. I'm not really sure because there are two events, and actually now I can't even remember which one triggered, whether it was For the Motherland or the Great Patriotic War, which basically they trigger at the same time and they both give the Soviet Union awesome advantages. Temporarily though. But yeah. Okay. And now also I've got this nice long front, but suddenly the Soviets are actually able to hold it in strength. So that's actually not to my advantage. Ah. Things have gone a bit pear-shaped for me, I think. But hopefully we'll get student out. And the Hungarians and the Swiss are up in here to support him, so we'll get student out alive. Hopefully. Oh, and some Norwegians are here. I'm kind of hoping my allies are in a good spot here, because with my manpower problems, I'm not going to be that much of a help here. I mean, I'm still going to be providing most of the troops, just because I am Germany, I am easily the most powerful of my allies, and my SS guys aren't prioritised. Let's do that. There's the SS army. Actually, I think I only just prioritise the SS army there and not all the troops in the SS army. Oops, and von Schnell's been encircled. I'm sure it's only going to be temporarily. And the Mongolians are attacking them, and I'm sure they're going to take absolutely devastating losses. At least they're taking massive organisation losses. The students under pressure again from a guards division this time. But why did you retreat towards the enemy there? Ah, you've been encircled again, thanks to that lake. Okay, hopefully von Schnell can get back to defend students. The students may be able to hold that province. I might have spoken a bit too soon when I said I could get students out of here. Oh, and actually it looks like von Schnell's in trouble as well. But my allies have got somewhere to fall back to for students at least. And the German troops have pushed right up here. And they're under attack, but hopefully we can... Oh, we might actually win this. No, I don't think we will. Both of our divisions have very low organisation and very low manpower. Actually, they're both half size, or even third size. I'll make a new... Oh, I can't make a new headquarters for them. I've got no manpower, so no new HQs. So I'll just join them with the other SS Corps. I think I can fit these two into that core. Oh, the 6 SS. I've completely forgotten about this division. It's been hanging back, recovering. So I probably won't be able to fit all of them, and I'll have to attach some to the SS army. And it looks like it's really full, so we'll just join the SS army. Okay. Which isn't really an ideal way of organising things, but it'll do. Well, especially since I'm basically intending to defend for the next bit. Or even not even defend, I just need to get my SS troops recovering. And SS army should be near the top somewhere. There it is. Oh, and you're actually within range of it. I always forget that because corps have such short range that I kind of expect armies and theatres and army groups to as well, but they've actually got really good radios and can command troops a far distance away. It doesn't like the Swiss, well, they didn't have to defend it long, just long enough for von Schnell to escape, which they did. And I think those SS troops are pretty safe now. I just want to pull them back off the front lines. We're still holding Kharkov, we're actually moving in towards... Oh, that's Kursk, we've lost Kursk. Still hold Kharkov, but... yeah, so these SS troops are actually on the front lines now. And I thought I was just leaving them back, you know, planning for something. So the Soviets are pushing back pretty hard, actually. So, all in all, capturing Stalingrad. Big mistake. Well, actually, I suppose what I should have done is I could probably have captured a lot of Russia so long as I didn't capture Moscow, Leningrad, or Stalingrad. So I probably should have just ordered my troops to go very close to them and try and capture all three simultaneously, which might have been enough to knock the Soviet Union out of the war. Although it is very gamey, so I probably wouldn't... well, no, I wouldn't do that. No, I just gotta deal with this now. Soviet Union is back to being much... well, basically they pushed at the start of the war when both of us had huge manpower reserves. We've learnt that we can push against them when they've run out of manpower, but now they have manpower and I have none. I'll put my SS troops right back. They need time to recover, and yeah, I've set them all to priority, so they'll get first dibs on reinforcements. I'm going to switch my troops to defensive. Yeah, big manpower shortage. I don't want them taking unnecessary casualties. Basically, we've got to outlast the Soviet Union here, and they are very hard to outlast. I'm guessing, well, some of my allies at least must be in pretty bad situation. Poland in particular, I imagine, doesn't have a lot of... I mean, they've been fighting the Soviet Union for 4 years on their own territory. I can't imagine they have a lot of manpower left, especially since about 2/3 of their country was occupied. Romania is probably in good enough shape. Yugoslavia and Hungary have been fighting pretty hard as well as Slovakia. Italy sent a lot of troops, but they have a lot of manpower and a fairly small army. I think France should still be alright. The UK's definitely got tons of soldiers, but no... they've got tons of manpower, but no soldiers. And I've got lots of these little states, which might contribute something, but won't contribute much. Of course, Ireland's the annoying one, because Ireland has a massive army, but no ships to transport it out of the United Kingdom. Oh, and my allies actually hold Fiji allies. We've got a really significant presence in the Pacific and Asia. It's just so I'm not going to have any troops to exploit that anytime soon, because I've got to fight the Soviet Union. In fact, given my manpower shortages, I might actually just have no troops for the rest of the game. Or at least a significant portion of my armed forces being under strength. And yeah, the Soviets have pushed us back even more. Advancing well, not deep into Poland, but they've taken a decent chunk of town. We've lost Kursk, we've lost Kharkov. And I hope that's not Kiev they're moving on to now, because that would be quite annoying. I suppose it's easy come, easy go. We've basically pushed back to about, well, even further back to where we started this episode, so the last half an hour. We've basically lost everything we've gained, it looks like, except for in the very south around Crimea, just thanks to our push to Stalingrad. Now we still have a little bit more than we started with, but we've lost some in the north that we didn't. Yeah. This episode's been about 50-50. Did very well on the start, then they had the Great Patriotic War, or For the Motherland, whichever one it was, and then they started pushing us back. Navy's all doing work up around Archangel there, obviously intercepting Soviet convoys. I'm very concerned about this push in the north, just because there doesn't seem to be a lot of troops to actually defend it, or defend against it. And the troops they are myself and Polish. I know my troops are in bad way, and I assume Poland is as well. Actually, Bulgaria might be in a sorry state as well, because I think they've sent a fair few troops, but they wouldn't have a lot of manpower, just because they don't have a lot of population. Lots of technologies too advanced, so we'll just get rid of them. And, well, actually, it's about time to end the episode. So, what to take away from this? Capturing Stalingrad isn't particularly the best idea for Germans, at least not in this playthrough, and not in real life. But not the only concern, the major concern is the manpower losses, because suddenly the Soviets have a lot more soldiers and they're putting up a lot stiffer resistance. And mine are just going to get weaker and weaker because I can't sustain the rate of losses I've been taking. I mean, I think I still am inflicting much heavier casualties on the Soviets than they are inflicting on me, but they've got those reserves which I don't have. But I will have to wait and see what happens. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.